Just delete all the nude photos of Katie.
Like she lets me keep it though.
He keeps some of the other girls. Instead.
Alright.
Wait.
One,
I didn't record.
2, turn the ring. 3, 4, 5 note cards. Hello, my name is Chris Almquist. Thank you for joining me today. My speech is about how the online marketplace is booming, and now it makes it easier than ever to create your own online business. Because of shifts in consumerism, as I said earlier, it's easier than ever for anybody to start their own business. All it takes is a little creativity, a little ingenuity, and it's easier than ever to reach the consumer you want due to the new tools and new concepts that are being created every day online. Canadian business executive and author Don Copscott once said, "All one needs is a computer, a network connection, and a bright spark of initiative and creativity to join the economy." And he was basically talking about the new shift in social trends, Twitter, eBay, Amazon, Facebook. I'm sure everybody's heard of those terms. Those aren't just new social technologies anymore. They're marketplaces. They're a way to reach your consumer. They're a way to get feedback from your consumer. And it has shifted the ability for businesses to react to their consumers quicker than ever before. So the first step to creating your new business is come up with an idea. It sounds simple, but it's actually not. It's probably the hardest part of creating your own business.
That's right.
I'm sorry. That's right. Is creating an idea that is a need for somebody. That's the whole purpose of creating a business, is to create a need. You are filling some need for your consumers. So if you look around the room, if you gauge 25 people, gauge 100 people, and say, what do you need? What do you lack? That is basically how you start a business. You see a need, you fill a need, and you make it financially feasible for everybody to own said product. Now, part of that is research. Like I said, survey market groups. I'm sure everybody's been in the mall, been asked, hey, do you buy this product? Do you buy that product? Or will you test this product? All of that is market research. All of that is crucial to understanding whether your idea, your concept is financially viable going forward. If you gauge 200 people and 175 say, yeah, I would pay $10 for that, or I would pay any amount of money for that, that's a good basis of, okay, now I can move forward. I have a need. I have my product. I know what I want to build, and now I know that there's a market for that product. Second is protecting your assets. Legally creating your company. I know it seems like you're putting the cart before the horse when you do this, but it's actually the most important step after having the idea to forming your own company. You need to separate yourself as a citizen versus your company. Now, you don't have to necessarily go fancy with it. You don't have to do an LLC or a legitimate corporation. You can do a sole proprietorship. You can do a corporation. It creates several other advantages. When people think of a corporation, they think of hundreds of people. They think of thousands of people, and that's not necessarily true. All a corporation does is separates you from your company. And what it does is it creates longevity, and it makes it easier to protect your own assets. If something happens with one of your products, you don't want to get sued and have your house taken away. That's the whole purpose of a corporation. You're no longer the owner, the buck end stops there. You're not the CEO or the president or whatever you want. So that way, if there were any damages from your product, they can't sue and take your house or your wife's car or your husband's car or your kids' cars. They separate your assets from the corporation's assets. Yes, they could take your company, they could take whatever building you're in, but it won't take your house. It won't leave you completely destitute going forward. It's a big step. Legally formalizing your company. You have to send paperwork. Every state has it. You have to send paperwork to your attorney general, and your attorney general says, okay, they're not going to defraud consumers. We know where this guy is. He's not creating 5 companies trying to hide assets from other things. It basically legitimizes your corporation in the eyes of your consumers and in the eyes of the state as well. Third is choose your marketplace. So you have your idea, you have your company. You need to choose where you're going to sell your ideas. Some places are relatively easy. Amazon, Bonanza, eBay, those are all online marketplaces that have a lot of tools that'll give you kind of a boost going forward. The problem is the price. Amazon, eBay, they all charge. Amazon, for instance, $40 every month, 15% of everything you sell. So if you sell a lot of stuff, that's an extra 15% you either have to tack on or you have to eat out of your profits to allow you to reach a mass number of consumers. eBay does the same thing, except you don't have to pay as much. I think it's like 7%. Bonanza is another online marketplace. Or you can open your own web store. The problem with opening your own web store is, A, you still have to pay someone to process your money. So let's say someone does a credit card, they're still going to charge you 3.5% for everything you sell.
Oh, debit card.
Yeah. But the good thing or the bad thing about web stores is marketing. You're your own marketer. You have to reach your consumers. Now, how you do this, you can do it a number of different ways, but it's not like the Field of Dreams. Everybody says, oh, I'll build my own web store and thousands of people are going to flock to it. That's not true. That's not necessarily true. It's not if I build it, they will come. You have to go to them. And part of that is Google. Google is great, but Google charges. Google charges per click. So you pay a fee, and they'll put you in the first page of searches. Like, let's say you have a teddy bear company. You're Teddy Bear Deluxe. And you want to be in the first page. They're going to charge you a fee. For every click, they charge you a fee. Whether they buy or not, they charge you a fee for that click on your website. That can get pretty pricey. But at the same time, if you want to reach the mass number of people, Google, Amazon, Ask Jeeves is kind of the way to go. Some cheaper ulterior ways to market is the easiest. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Vine, all those new technologies for social marketing is really just beginning to take off because you can reach a mass number of people. It's just as simple as someone buys your product, say, hey, go like our Facebook page. Then all of their friends see what they just liked and what they bought. And it becomes a way to get more consumers just to go to your website and see what you have to offer. Whether they buy or not, it doesn't cost you at that point. Seth Godin, the best-selling author, once wrote, how can you squander even one day not taking advantage of the greatest shift of our generation? And that's what he was talking about, was the social marketing, the social marketplace online, which is really just beginning to expand and, well, it's already dominated the world, but it's only getting stronger. Lastly, and Frank can see here, it's kind of small, I apologize, getting your suppliers and figuring out what is financially viable for you. Suppliers are kind of easy to find, but you kind of have to know what's going on. You have to have your profit margin set in stone before you get in there. Because what suppliers are going to do is they're going to try to nickel and dime you. They're trying to make as much money from their wholesaler as possible, which is nothing against them. That's what everybody does. They want to make the most money. So what you want to do is you want to research your suppliers. Find a wholesaler. Wholesalers don't sell to the general public. They only sell to companies. So find a supplier. Make them work to your profit margin. Say, hey, I need you to match this price, or I need this price to be in that range. Typically, if they're a good wholesaler and you have a good relationship with them, they will usually meet that or get somewhere in the ballpark. And kind of coming to a close here, it sounds easy. It does sound easy. It isn't. That is probably, I found this, and it actually doesn't pertain to any of the steps, but it's the greatest thing I think I've seen in response to business is your plan is going to be smooth sailing. You're going to start your business, you're going to sell thousands of people, you're going to make millions of dollars. Unfortunately, reality is not perfect, and it is not like that. It's going to be full of bumps. It's going to be full of bruises. You're going to take your learning curve pretty brutally. But if you have the will and determination, if you're a hard worker, you can make any idea succeed. I fully believe that. Thank you very much for attending. I really appreciate it.
How many people did you say were here?
8.
I don't think it was on the second report.
Yep, just stop.